It's not the chart of the top cryptocurrency. It's also not the chart of one of the altcoins, not the pump and dump move. What we are going to talk about is a Microsoft stocks today. Hi, Piotr here, this LiteFinance Global YouTube channel. It's my pleasure to talk to you about one of the top stocks, and well, we are going to discuss some very important things, as well as we are going to discuss charts in details. Start from the monthly one. So well, it's above 500 billion, right? Microsoft stock performance in 2020 stood out the most. This came as a bit of surprise, as during the same period of time most stocks struggled to stay above the water. Well, the thing is that for now, a few essential pieces of data about the stocks. Market cap 1.83 trillion, shares outstanding 7.5 plus billion, public float 7.42 billion, PE ratio 32.83, EPS 7.35, and when we are talking about the yield, is less or just shy below 1%. Total return price range 44.7 June 2016, 261.97 April 2021. The annual dividend 2.24, and the float shorted 0.63. Average volume, the average volume is 28.52 million. All right. Well, let's start with the monthly chart because, as you can see, we are within the parabolic move, right? Late 2008, beginning of 2009, we were around 30 or shy below 30. Right now, we are talking about the 257, 258 almost. Right, parabolic move to the upside, and lately we've seen the speed up of the trend. So if we are going to talk about the trend line, looks like after the initial failure when we were talking about the COVID, right, strong sell-off, but then the failure to the downside, strong move, pullback, another strong move. So let's have a look from the monthly chart perspective what we might see. Well, I think taking into the consideration the equal size of the moves, that's what I think we can talk about here. So let's have a look some kind of the corrections. Right, number one, that was the COVID correction. Number two, all right, but then it was the usual size of the correction, as you can see. All right, so with that being said, if we are going to take into the consideration the possible higher levels, then I would say in between the one of the shortest after the correction, meaning that we already hit that one, to the very long one after the COVID, it might be not enough for us when it comes to the scale. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make the measure for you guys like this. So it was the move, it was the move from 129 to 229, so $100. So if we are talking about the latest correction down to 237, $100 to the upside, we are talking about the levels close to 330, 340, and that's quite significant possible move. Right now, when it comes to the possible pullback, I think that we have the support. We know the upside target. What we are going to talk right now is where the possible demand zones. Well, in between 215 200, then again the lower swing around 150, and untested, that's a very important thing, untested zone around 110 and 100. So that's the three possible demand zones when it comes to the Microsoft. So if on the monthly chart that was the supply candle, right? April candle was a supply, and even if we are going to take the biggest correction into the consideration, the COVID correction, right? So even with the higher yields, because what the tech stocks don't like the higher yields. Actually, maybe the Microsoft stocks is not going to take care about that. But guys, if the April candle, April was the supply month, right? So then the biggest correction could bring us towards the demand, the first very important demand zone we were discussing a second ago, based on the monthly chart. So that's how I see the things from the very long perspective, targeting 320, 335, and strong demand around 200, 210. What might affect Microsoft price in 2021 and beyond? Well, broadly speaking, most stocks are affected by the same set of the factors, including supply and demand, company news and performance, ongoing domestic and international events, and investor sentiment. Plus, we should remember about the broken supply chain because of the COVID. So, well, that's quite significant things. Now, new products out of a wide range of the developments. I'm going to provide a few areas to get excited about. Surface Duo Phone, Windows 10X, SQ1 custom ARM chip, Meta OS, revisited universal search. All of this you can check visiting our blog. If you are looking for more details, I strongly encourage you to visit and watch and check the information. Of course, the acquisitions are gonna be very important. Microsoft Cloud Healthcare with nuance to provide an AI layer at the point of the delivery, gaming with ZeniMax Media to deliver Bethesda exclusive on Xbox and PC, social media space with TikTok. So let's have a look what we have on a weekly chart, because in that case here we are trying to hold each and every demand zone. And well, let's start from the latest, right? So the latest pullback we've seen, it was the retest of that demand, which held very nicely. Now this pullback on the weekly chart, right, it was the hold of the broken wide range after we moved above 200. What I like the most would be some kind, if you do remember a second ago we were discussing the monthly chart and 200 as a strong demand. What I would like to see at some point when we would see the panic selling, I would like to see attempt to move below 200, testing 185. That would be great. Leaving on the weekly chart, for example, a long lower shadow like this and finishing above 200. That would be very nice signal. Why? Because what we have here is the latest weakness on the weekly chart. So I like the stocks around 200 based on the monthly. I like the stocks a little bit below 200 when it comes to the weekly, but only if we are going to see the long lower shadow on the weekly chart when it comes to the Microsoft. All right. The forecast for 2021, some analysts' recommendations. We have Jefferies Financial Group and Brent Thiel lowered his price target from 300 to 290, so a little bit below the extension when it comes to the equal move. So the Jefferies is targeting to 90. Rosenblatt Securities set the price target around 301, right? And Morgan Stanley up to 300 from 290. Raymond James, strong buy recommendation, rising price target to 290 from 275. The next one is Barclays, from 269 to 288. So we have small increasement, but you know, they have to do their job each and every month and quarter, so I do expect that we are going to see some higher recommendations when it comes to the Microsoft stocks. So finally, let's have a look what we have when it comes to the daily chart. There you go. It's a little bit different story, and I'm going to explain you why. Because here, short term, the key level is 228, 225, and that's what the bulls have to hold. Otherwise, we might see some kind of the possible head and shoulders eventually to test this level, making the rally and trying to get back to our level related to 200, and with the possible stop count even lower towards 185. So all these three charts we were discussing, monthly, weekly, daily, they are mostly in line. So the strongest demand around 200, 185. When it comes to the upside price target, when we are talking about the analyst recommendations, is around 280, 300, and based on equal move, we cannot rule it out. 330, 325, 335 we discussed a few minutes ago. With that being said, guys, Microsoft stocks is or should be on your watch list, and with eventually some kind of the correction or panic sell-off, watch very carefully 200, 185. It was my pleasure to prepare this update for you. Wish you great another trading day. See you around. Take care. Goodbye.